Hey everybody, Effect here. This is going to be part 3 for my gunning guide. This is going to be for expert level. So this is going to be if you are maybe renowned, but probably GM plus. And this is going to be some expert level topics. And it's going to be mostly gameplay. But I'm going to try to narrate it as I go on a slower speed than I usually gun at. So hopefully I can narrate it right. But I showed you the 2-arrow start. If you're doing that and you're rocking it out, that's great. My next thing I want to show you, which is horrible because there's a leak point right here. Hold on a second, guys. It's going to be the 4-arrow start. I believe I learned this from Mitch, and Ozzy told me to try it, and I loved it. I learned it this year, and it's really the next step in starting off the board. You do arrows like that. So you go your regular 2-arrow start, above and below, and then still pointing to the right, you go like this. So you did this, these two, right? And then you do these two. This will get the first 4 pieces to the bottom right. And it's really efficient at getting the pieces over there. I mean, this increases your chances of getting the board loaded, or that free can I was talking about, a lot more often. Well, maybe not a lot, but a decent bit more. I mean, it is a really effective way to do it. And once again, big props to Mitch and Ozzy for showing me this. It really helped me get like a better start on my board. And I will say though, this 4-arrow start when you're on max speed is pretty hard. I'm gonna load the board a couple times and do it for you. So this is the speed you need to do it at to do this. And I mess it up sometimes still, as you can see. And you gotta be hustling and bustling to get this shit done. Okay, moving on. One more time. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty fast. So let's just tone this down. Say about here. Let's say you're like a legendary player. I'm gonna do some legendary gunning here. So you're probably like, wow, this is so slow. But hey, this is actually how I do it. Find your loops, switch them up, get them going. This is actually the way I gun. I'm not like dumbing it down for anybody. I'm just playing on a slower speed here. I'm gonna finish this one. Grab this. Boop. I really try to go for this bottom double arrow loop every single board I can, because a good amount of boards you can actually get this. There's 2 arrows like this, and you loop on the bottom too. And you see I'm gonna tighten it up here by adding this arrow. Anytime you can maximize your loop like that, definitely do it. Like I said, one of the ways to save time is to minimize your time waiting on pieces to rotate around your loop. If you're looping, that is. And I respect it. We're going to slowly climb up here. So, I'm going to go until we hit the shore. Should be about a 10-minute long video, I hope. And I got to get it good because I'm talking a little bit while ago, but let's see what I got. Okay, and once again, easy board. You're gonna see me do this maneuver a lot too, where I put a down arrow up there to grab that left piece. Sometimes I do that a lot. It's just because a lot of times after the opener is done, the pieces will, one of the left pieces will be going that direction, so I need to like grab it for myself. I'm also gonna point out, I really hate throwing pieces overboard, but depending on the board, which this board is kind of like a good example of it, I just kind of do it. So I'll do an arrow like that to grab that piece. It looks easy on this speed because this speed's like even though I'm really close to max speed, it's like nowhere near full speed. It's actually like really hard to do on full speed, in my opinion. Because like it may have looked like I had like a lot of time to do it there, but in reality that's like a really quick maneuver. My Buja cannon here, the boss. One thing I wanted to show, if I can get a good example of it, is I wanted to talk to you guys about redirectioning of pieces. So I don't know if I'm going to get an example here. It's kind of hard to like reproduce one. You just kind of have to roll with it. What I wanted to talk about was when the pieces are in the right order, they're just backwards. And what you want to do, let's say they're like this. We'll say they're like this, okay? So obviously you need powder first, and then wad, then cannonball. So you just kind of like give yourself some room to time it out and reverse them. This is a really bad example, but it did work out in the end. Let's see if I can get one. This is not a good example either. I'm sorry, I might not be able to reproduce an example of this. It just kind of happens. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this perfectly. Probably not. Yeah, another league point because the Navy is horrible. That was a bad board. Bad board. That messed up my opener. Ugh. At this point, I should have hopped off, but I'm gonna stick through it. And you're noticing, I really only do mainly focus on one can at a time. I don't do too often because unless it's wide open, a lot of times I'll forget to check on it like the millisecond later, and then next thing I know, the piece has got like jumbled up somewhere in between, and then I just got like the wrong order. And it happens to me more often than I'd like to admit when I try to go for two cannons at the exact same time. Like I got one arrow here and then going over here. It happens to me frequently-ish. Suck. So bad. Bad board. Sometimes the farther you get in, the more I start to acknowledge that a bad board also has to deal with the pieces that come out. Like if they come out in like the absolute wrong order, you could just spend the first 5 seconds getting just a wad. Or just a powder, which happens more often than I'd like to admit. Like this board, pop, terrible. All the pieces went to the exact wrong sides. All the cannon, everything with the powder went to the right. So, and I always start in the bottom right cannon because that's the way the pieces naturally bounce, is bottom right, if you give them enough time. Another thing I want to say is, if you have the pieces lined up like 2 in a row or 3 in a row like that, get that one done first. So, like let's say you're about to finish, there's a cannon done. But there's on the other cannon, there's like a perfect 3 lineup, right? You have the perfect order. Snag that one first and use it on your hardest one. I will redirect a powder wad cannonball lineup into like a really hard section of the board 10 times out of 10. I mean, why do the hard cannon like without doing that? You know, if you get a perfect lineup, take that piece to your hardest cannon and get it out of the way. You'll thank yourself later because then you won't have to deal with that hard cannon. But this has been my my expert guide. I know there's not a lot of content in here, and it's mostly just me rambling, but there's not a lot to say in this expert level one. My next video is going to be a bit more important. I'm gonna do a like analysis of mine and some other people's gunnings in a couple different videos. So I'm gonna analyze me at an ultimate level on like some kind of pillage, and I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna say what I think I would have done. I'm gonna slow-mo it. I'm gonna like do it in half speed and see what happens, see what I did, and hopefully get some good clips in there for you. And as well as that, I'm gonna go back through. I'm gonna analyze some of my friends that are like master level, some that are stuck at legendary, and maybe say what I think they could do to get better. So keep an eye out for the next video. I think it's gonna be a lot more useful to you guys that are actually here at the legendary GM level. But anyways, thanks for watching.